Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow Season 6, Episode 2, Tribute. I don't know what to say. These episodes are just so good. These first two episodes of Arrow, compared to any other show on in the CW, any other the CW superhero shows, Flash, between that, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, even Gifted. Gifted has been pretty good, but on the CW, these ones have Arrow has definitely been the best so far. We're only 2 episodes in, and every single episode has a great, awesome cliffhanger that completely changes the show from here on out. And I love it. I just definitely can't wait to see how this happens. Now, who knows how long this will last and stuff like that. Obviously, we've seen, I guess spoiler alert, it's obviously there's tons of set photos out there of him suiting back up for the crossover and all that stuff. So, although if the crossover only takes place on Earth X, then maybe he can go to Earth X and be at Green Arrow, but just when he's in Star City on Earth 1, he's no longer Green Arrow. I could see that be happening for that episode. I think it'd definitely be cool to see how things go with this. I mean, I keep on saying in the last episode, I think it would have been cool to see Flash kind of Barry text him and be like, "Hey, I go back in time and change this," type thing, JK, LOL, type thing. That would have been a funny text to see. And it's just like, and also it'd be really cool, and it'd just be, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm retiring as a Green Arrow. John Diggle's taking over." It's just like, that would be cool, because I definitely can't wait to see how Cisco's going to think. Cisco's going to lose his mind. Even Cisco didn't even know that Oliver's identity was revealed for a little bit. Although this episode was pretty good. It was cool seeing the different things going on with this, seeing how things have changed with Diggle and stuff like that. I mean, throughout this episode, seeing Diggle's David Ramsey and stuff, he was like, for some reason I just thought he just looked bigger, like his muscles, it looked like his workout routine was just even, it was like he turned it up to like 20 or 11 type thing, and he really just pushed it. So now I see kind of why, is because he's going to be filling out the suit and stuff, which I wonder if he fits the same suit that that Stephen Amell wears, or does he have to wear? Do they make him a whole nother suit to fit him that's a little bit bigger and stuff like that? That would be funny to see if he talks about that. But it definitely was pretty cool. One of the things though that bothered me at the end of this episode was when they were able to prove that, or make it so that he wasn't the Green Arrow, which was interesting. That I was kind of just going into this wanting it to not be resolved in this episode and still have that problem and make that be a long problem to draw it out, because we've had that problem before, but it always ends up he always ends up fixing it in one episode. It's a problem in one episode, and then the next episode he deals with it all the way to the end and then fixes it in the last minute, and there you go. It's only one episode to deal with it. But it never really dry. They never really, milk it and really soak and use it and type thing. But this is a total different way of going in, and I love it. I really love the way they're doing it. The one problem, though, that I have with it is that when they're able to prove that the image is fake, they didn't explain how they were able to prove it was fake, and what is the original image. What image did they take did they take? Where was the head Photoshop off of? Which photo of Oliver Queen, and which photo of the Green Arrow was it Photoshopped onto to prove that it was Photoshopped? Like, somehow you gotta find the original version of that photo type thing. The original, if you take off Oliver Queen's face, which version was that taken from? Which picture of Green Arrow? Show us the picture. I thought they were going to show us a before and after shot of it being altered on the news, but they didn't. It was just kind of like, okay, they're just going on their word that it was confirmed. Like, how did Felicity and Curtis be sending an anonymous thing? How do they undoubtedly confirm and convince the news people and convince them that it was altered, and how do they do that? They didn't show any of that. Yeah, we don't need to see the nitty-gritty, coding of how exactly they proved it, but for someone who's not a coding person, how did they someone who's not a coding person, especially on the level of Felicity and Curtis, how do they prove to them that it was photoshopped, it was altered, it was whatever type of thing? They didn't really explain that at all, or even just glance. It was just too much. We're just supposed to believe that they just somehow convinced them. I don't know. Would have liked to have seen more detail into that and see how they did it. Even just a thing. Oh, here's the before. It was photoshopped of just Green Arrow, and here's the one of it photoshopped with Green Arrow, and here's the regular picture of everyday Oliver Queen. And they photoshopped that face off of and show all 3 photos. They should have just done that on the news to show that it was photoshopped. It would have been super simple. I don't know. It just didn't seemed a little bit coincidental and too easy. We don't see how it happened, but it just happened type thing. So yeah, it was definitely. Other than that, it was a great episode. It's gonna be fun to see how he does, because we've never seen Diggle fire an arrow or anything like that. And part of me even was thinking before he said that Diggle was going to take his place and stuff that. I thought he was going to almost bring his son into the mix. I think that would have been something cool, is if he had some sort of, Adam-like suit, if Ray Palmer was still around, to make him some sort of a mech suit that he could, help be around, be part of the Arrow team, to help protect Oliver, and that's how he would bring him into the fold and stuff to make him feel like he's the... Oliver might not be able to make sure he's there every time, but if William was there in some sort of Iron Man-like suit, which I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it would have to, for it to be convincing, it would have to be pretty much exactly the Iron Man suit, even more above and beyond than the Adam suit, and that would just be CGI, like too much CGI probably for this show. Although they do it on Legends, I don't know. But it was just interesting to see the dynamic it's going to play with David Ramsey having what's his face Diggle playing being the Arrow and stuff, and how. Is he as accurate as Oliver Queen? I mean, I remember although this is not this Oliver Queen, but I remember in Smallville, the greatest Green Arrow moment from Smallville was when Lois Lane said to Oliver Queen, you could I'll be yours if you can hit that can over there. And he misses the can until the camera zooms in on the arrow and he's hit just the tab on the top of it. That was always a classic thing. So we've seen Arrow done some pretty cool things. In the comics, he's able to hit a water drop and split it in two. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how Diggle plays with this, and hopefully this lasts like the whole season or type thing. And like I say, because we have seen set photos and stuff where it shows Stephen Amell back in the costume and stuff. I mean, he's posted stuff on his Instagram and stuff. Out there of him in costume next to Grant Gustin, but I'm assuming if he goes over to the other multiverse, another planet type of thing, then he could suit up. So for the crossover, he might suit up, and then it goes back to David Ramsey in the costume, John Diggle being the Green Arrow and stuff. So hopefully they can bring that on, use that for the whole season. I'd love to see that stick. I don't want it to just go up to the crossover and then revert to Oliver Queen, because otherwise, what's the point of doing this in episode 2? If it only is going to end, it's not going to last type of thing. It needs to last the whole season, and maybe at the end of the season, Oliver's ready to take it back type of thing. But how would Oliver come back into being the Green Arrow? The only way I can think of it is his son William dying, and who's going to kill his son? Definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be Anatoly. Anatoly's probably not going to be the one to do that. Like he said, he won't do it. He could have threatened his son, used his son, and all that stuff, but he's a good person. He doesn't want to do that. So I don't know. It seems like it's interesting to see there hasn't set up yet a villain in this episode, in this series, in this season. There's so much. I guess there's stuff that could happen and stuff. Maybe it could be a John Diggle villain that comes up. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. And once he gets everything on him, is he going to want to drop the suit because he dropped the Arrow thing because he also has a wife and kids. Oliver has a kid, but Diggle has a wife and kid type thing. So he has two people to worry about, not just his son and stuff. Although Lila is, head of the Argus and stuff like that, so she has all that. She's not, completely on her own type of thing. But I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see where things go with this. I definitely can't wait to see what is Lila going to think of this. You know, Diggle he didn't really say yes right away. He didn't really. I mean, he did shake the hand and stuff, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how Lila takes it in next week's episode, and she better be in next week's episode because this is a big thing that he needs to talk to Lila about, and this needs to be something I need to talk about. I need to see her opinion on that matter. So it's going to be fun to see if she's in the next week's episode, because she needs to be. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. How do you think it's going to go from here on? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.